Stewardship, like Jell-O, has a lot of surface tension. No one really likes to talk about stewardship. They don't like to talk about money at church. They'd rather have a root canal than talk about pledging. So a lot of people would prefer to talk about something else, and you have to get past that surface tension. And then once you're past that surface tension, it's kind of mushy inside, like Jell-O. There aren't a lot of guideposts for what stewardship should look like. There aren't a lot of tried and true rules. The only rule that really makes a lot of sense to me is that if you are fortunate enough to be in a position to be generous and you conclude the church should be supported, please do that. Be generous. It really is pretty simple. And being generous doesn't necessarily mean that you need to pledge large amounts of money. When I was involved in the stewardship campaigns in the past, I always thought that the number of people pledging was much more important than the amount of the pledges. Lots of people are not in a position to pledge large amounts of money, but lots of people who pledge something put themselves into a position and a discipline that provides a broad-based foundation for the institution. And some of those people, like me, 30 years later, I'm in a better position to be generous than I was 30 years ago. And I hope some of you will be as well. And being generous also does not mean that your pledge necessarily has to be money. Your time and your talent, not just money, are essential. So if the pledge, whether it's money, time, or talent, is widespread throughout the congregation, the institution will flourish and grow. And then the third reason that stewardship is like Jell-O, this really is stupid, is that stewardship really doesn't keep its form very long. Every year, the congregation has to reassess and prioritize the needs and resources of the church. The process is not a favorite time of year for lots of people, but this year we actually have a lot of reasons to be excited about the future of this congregation. A lot of things are happening. Last week we formally welcomed Steve as our new minister. The congregation is excited about having Steve here, and Steve is excited about being here. You've all felt it. There's excitement, there's kind of a buzz. Our congregation is growing. Some families are returning to the PCC. We are reaching out to a significant audience online. We are using this beautiful sanctuary and the plant in the middle of Piedmont to reach out to the community in new ways. We are rebuilding our children's ministry. Significant numbers of people are participating in small groups and building new relationships that will be there for a long time as they go into the future. And my personal favorite is that we continue to have one of the best music programs in Northern California with great leadership, fabulous soloists, and really good section leaders. And all those programs take resources, treasure, time, talent. And they are a great reason to give generously if you can. I guess the last thing I would say this year, and I also said 30 years ago, is that stewardship is all about grace. It has nothing to do with guilt. Nobody should be guilted into giving to this institution. Giving resources to this institution shouldn't be an obligation. It should be about joy. If grace puts you in a position to be generous, you will find joy in your gift. It will not be a burden. It will just be a way of saying thank you for the gift of grace. And with that, I will say thank you to all of you for listening to me, and thank you for participating in the stewardship campaign this year. Thank you very much.